When 250 competitors arrive in St. Paul in late January, this will be on display as part of the annual Minnesota Winter Carnival in conjunction with the U.S. Nationals. Welcome back to Nancy Kerrigan's World of Skating as we count down to the Nationals with Nancy, and Rocky Marvel is our special guest here. And now it's time to talk about maybe your specialty, Rock, because now as you're in your role as a professional agent, your prime client is the three-time national champion, Johnny Weir. Tell us something about Johnny. This guy's something of a lightning rod for controversy, certainly flamboyant.
He enjoys controversy. He thrives on it. He says things for shock value, which makes my job very difficult at times, but, and exciting at the same time. So it's been an up and down road for him, and I think this year he's going to shock the world again.
Nancy, you can relate to this. It's important for the sport, really is, to have a rival for whatever reason. When you were involved in the Harding thing, it was probably the zenith of the popularity of this sport. Johnny's got a real rival here in Evan Lysacek. They've gone head-to-head for years, and Evan stole it away from him last year. Do you think he can do it again?
Well, I don't know. It's so tough. They're both really very talented and great competitors. Obviously, they both go to different internationals and have good results at them. But as you said, I think Evan's 5-2 over the head-to-head competitions over Johnny right now. But I think Johnny, like Rocky said, may surprise us, because I think he was really bothered that he didn't get that top spot last year, and he seems to be wanting to fight his way back up on the top spot.
Here's a look at what you're referring to statistically. You know, in this sport, and we've talked about this before, you don't have that many competitions in the course of a year, and you look at these going back through just 2007 and 2006, there are just 7 of them, and 5 times Evan did finish on top. As a result, Rocky, Johnny's made some changes, yes, in his coaching and such, and his training?
He's moved his coaching and his training up to New Jersey here. I think it's been a great change for him. He's gone from someone who was more like a friend to him to a coach now is more like a drill sergeant. She really kicks his tail and gets him in shape. He's been really training hard, not partying as much as he used to, which is a good thing in skating, but I think
that's good advice for us all, Rock.
I think he's made a good change this year.
Let's take a look at Evan Lysacek, and is it fair to say that he is more of the athletic performer as compared to the flamboyant stylings of Johnny, would you say, Nancy?
Well, I think Evan actually has a lot of good style on the ice. It's just very different from Johnny. Evan's style is a little more controlled, I think, and maybe conservative, and he just, you know, but the jumps and the spins, that's what you got to go for, those points. And you know, these guys are really, it's amazing what they're doing out there on the ice with all the triple jumps and quads. It really is impressive.
In fact, Evan has made it a point since he's become national champion to propose that his sport take a step towards the X Games and include sort of a jumping competition within the context of the X Games, where you just focus on the basic jumps that we see in the skating. But you've heard of this idea before?
I have. About 5 years ago, Evan's former manager talked about doing an X Games on ice, and it never came to fruition. But it's funny that Evan brings it back, but I think with his tall stature and lankiness, I think he'd have a hard time doing that. I think some of the more athletic, you know, more stout guys would fare better in a sport like that, or a games like that. But I mean, it's funny that he brings it back out and wants to try it.
Let's talk about your guy now, Johnny Weir, with a new coach, 3-time defending national champion until he was knocked off the podium a year ago by Lysacek. And well, what would you say would be different in what we'll see in his program come the Nationals in a couple of days?
I think you're going to see a more trained Johnny Weir, a little more confident Johnny Weir, as opposed to, in the past, he was running on literally pure talent. The kid's only been skating for 11 years now. He came out of nowhere as a young boy, rose to the top very quickly, and you know, kind of did it by the seat of his pants, as opposed to now he's been training hard. and he's more confident and focused.
This is not what I would have thought, Nancy, when you dig into the biography, and certainly talking to Rocky before the show. He didn't put a pair of skates on until he was 12 years old. And that's unheard of.
It's pretty amazing. But he's, you know, as Rocky said, and as we can see watching him, he's very, very talented. But as you do get older, you get especially now, you lose that top spot to Evan, and so you might have some doubts. But going and changing your training, doing all that, learning how to compete, you know, may help, and having that instilled in him will make such a huge difference. Because, I mean, I think if you're going just by talent alone, as you get older, it makes it really hard. You have to know when you make a mistake how to fix it, because you're the only one out there once the competition starts. So you need to know how to control those emotions.
Long shot here, Rocky. Is there any other man that you can see breaking between these two come the Nationals?
No, I think these two are number one and number two. I mean, my pick is Johnny Weir to win, but Evan has a good shot at it. I think, you know, for a third place guy, I think you're looking at Stephen Carrier out of Boston. He's talented, he's got good coaching, and I think he's the next guy to come along.
Comes out of your old rink, doesn't he?
Yeah, he started when I was already older, but he was watching me, and we did some shows together when he was very young and just started. But he's you know, he works hard, and you can see over the last few years the growth in his skating and his talent. He has like these big jumps, and he's very determined. I think he has a lot of goals, and as Rocky said, though, I don't think as well that he can overtake Evan or Johnny, but we may see him up there on the podium.
Well, alert the media. Rocky Marvel, a personal agent for Johnny Weir, is picking Johnny Weir to win the U.S. Nationals. What about you, Nancy Kerrigan?
Well, you know, it's really tough because, as we said, these two are back and forth, and I think Johnny really wants it. But I think Evan's really going to fight to keep that top spot for another year. For these two both, it's a couple more years to the Olympics, so they got to both be fighting for the next 2 years. It's going to be tough. I'm going to pick Evan again this year. I think he's still strong, and he's competed well this season, so we'll see. We'll talk about it when we're there.
Well, you guys set the stakes for the wager in St. Paul in a couple of weeks. And when we come back on Nancy Kerrigan's World of Skating, our countdown to Nationals, we'll take a look at the pairs competition, where we could see a new championship team emerge in a few days at St. Paul. The pairs competitions, the competitors, our favorites, and our picks when we come right back on Countdown to Nationals.
Secrets of Skating, presented by Topricin. Heal the damage that causes the pain.
Figure skating was named because of the